Okay, so we finished the 4 action rounds. And the discard treaty points phase. Okay, I didn't even explain this, but if you have treaty points that are more than 4, it discards down to 4. We're both at 0, so that's not even a worry on the first turn. So basically, you got to smoke them if you got them, right? So if you end up with 8 treaty points somehow, good for you, by the way, if that ever happens, you need to at least spend them down to 4, or otherwise you forfeit them. Now, anything that 4 or lower, you don't forfeit. So you're allowed to save them up if you like, but just don't save more than 4. Okay, resolve remaining powers. That would be like end of turn stuff. So sometimes it'll be like there was that one that said end of turn and you get to reduce your debt. That's what that would do. And then we do the scoring phase. There's 3 things that get scored. There's the awards, which we've talked about, the prestige, which only happens in Europe, and then the global demand. So we're going to do all 3 of those. And then if one player has won all 4 awards and the prestige and all 3 global demand commodities, they automatically win the game. This is really hard to do, to be quite honest, but actually I did do it in one of my games. It was a game I was rather convinced I was going to win anyways. It's just that this, saved the other player from having to spend another 40 minutes playing it with me when they were already losing. So anyways, and then there's final scoring, which is done on turn 6 only. And to be quite honest, I have never gotten to that spot. Every game I've played has always ended before turn 6. One thing I will tell you is that the turn 6 scoring is not that hard. I don't have it memorized. I do remember reading the rules. It's not so bad. But it is special, the turn 6 scoring. You do score some things twice, for example. And it's very important to know when you're going into turn 6. But right now, you don't need to care about it. Okay, so let's just do our scoring. So let's start with India. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I win. 1 victory point. So I'm just going to set this off to the side. And I get a victory point. Indies. 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a tie. So nobody wins here. Why did I think I was going to get something? I guess not. Okay, so then we keep going. This is a crime that he didn't get to deploy those, but he never grabbed a military tile. There wasn't that many. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 1, 2, I'm sorry, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a tie. You don't count the conflict marker. So with a tie, this just goes away. And then in Europe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Definitely won the Europe one. And remember, my minister gives me extra victory points. So I got 3 victory points for winning that one. So 1, 2, 3. And then the prestige goes to whoever has the most green spaces. 1, 2. Ooh, I only have 2. And he has 2, if you count Ireland and Dutch Republic. So he has 2. I have 2. That is a tie. Nobody gets the 2 victory points. So there you go. And I did not win all 4 awards. I did not win everything. And now we do the stuff. The global trade. Being late. Okay, so I have 2 fur markets. You can see those there. He has 2, but one of them has a conflict marker, so I win. So I get 2 victory points plus a trade point. So 1, 2, and a treaty point, not a trade point, I apologize. And that goes to 1. Okay? By the way, if this was a real player versus player, I'm creaming him right now. Now, he wins the fish, which you can see is 2 victory points plus 1 debt. So he moves it down 2 victory points, but he goes up 1 in their debt. And then I pulled off the spices, which is 1 victory point and minus 1 debt, which I really needed. So I get 1 victory point and then lose 1 in the debt department. Okay, so that is a peace turn. So I went up by 5 points versus him. So I had a net effect of plus 5. So I'm sitting at 20 victory points, well on my way to 30. And we just ended the peace round. So now we move to the war round. Okay? Nothing happens in the war round other than a counter. So I'm going to grab this war tile and see if I can move it closer to us. Right here where we're rolling all of our dice and stuff. We can get it nice and close so we can read it. We start here on the top left. Central Europe. And we reveal. So first thing we do is we reveal these. And so I have 4 points. He has 0. He gets to damage a fort or remove a ship. Had I put my ship here, we would have been able to remove it. But there's no ships, there's no forts, so this is a useless tile for him. Okay. I think if you wanted to make it harder, you can maybe draw 2 of each, and then he gets to pick the better one. That's up to you if you want to make it more challenging. But right now I'm at 4 points, so let me put this at 4. I'm creaming him at 4 points right now. So then we go to the bonus strength. So the first one is Austria, and I'm going to move the camera back and forth. At some point, it's going to be quicker if I can just read it to you off camera, but I want you to see where on the board this is playing out. So Austria is the first one. Austria is here. And you can see that I have a flag in Austria with a pip. He has a flag in Austria with a pip. We offset each other, so there's no gain in points for either of us. Next one is Bavaria, which I have Bavaria, so now I'm at plus 5 points. So at 5 points. Denmark and Norway is the next one, and I have that one for 6. The Dutch Republic, I have that for 7. I only needed 5, so I'm overkilling this thing. The German states, he has both of those, so he reduces me down to 6 and 5. So I'm not overkilling it, folks. He just got 2 points there. This is Germany right here. So he knocked me back down to 5. And then the last one is Savoy, which I got. So I'm up to 6. So I'm at plus 6. So what do I get? I get 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. And I get 2 conquer points. Now the conquer points have to be used here, but I have to decide it before we move on to the next phase of the war. So one of the ones that's really nice is Hudson Bay. It's a space that you can only get from conquering. It's a territory, and it gives you access to fur, the fur market tile, and it gives you access to furs that no one can take away from you. So that's really nice. Acadia I already have. That belongs to me. This Mineria, Asiento, and San Agustin, and Gibraltar, those are all... Okay. Mineria is a territory in Europe that has a green border, so it's a prestige territory. Gibraltar lets me, for 1 military point, I can send an enemy squadron to the Navy box. That is dang powerful. That's the reason why you want Gibraltar. Okay. San Agustin is over here. And that would let me get access to the fruit, which is important for the British. This is the fruit tile that helps their India trade company, and it lets you unflag, something for cheaper. But that's San Agustin. Okay, Asiento is out here, and that lets me get this, which it only costs 2 to construct a squadron. Also very nice. Very helpful for France, by the way, because there's not a lot of times that France can construct a squadron for 2. I get to pick 2 of them, not just 1. And so I think I am for sure going to pick Hudson Bay. The other thing that's beautiful about it is it lets me put a flag in North America, so now I have more flags. So I take Hudson Bay, I get this. And then the other one's a tougher choice. I always love the Prestige from Minorca. Yeah, it is Minorca. Gibraltar is great for getting rid of those pesky British ships. But I think Asiento, to be able to construct a squadron for 2, it's hard to argue with that. So I'm going to take that, and that one goes here. So I'm trying to keep track of my market separately. Okay, so that's my creamdom, and I've got some really nice rewards for that. So I'm going to just put these away. Okay, now we go to Spain. This one I'm more worried about. So I have a debt. These are all done immediately. So he goes up 1 in debt, and then he reveals his tile, and he has a +2. So he's got a big advantage there. So he's up 2. The first thing we check is governance. He has finance and mercantilism. I have governance. So that 2 now becomes a 1 in his favor. Then Sardinia, which I have, so that becomes a 0 in his favor. Then Spain. I have 1 in Spain, so I now have 1 in my favor. And squadrons, and this is squadrons in Europe, which we have 0. So I won with a margin of victory of 1, and I get 1 victory point. So if I would have gotten conquer points, I could have taken more of Spain. Those Spanish territories that were available in this war were available again in that war. Okay, so that war is done. Now we go to Queen Anne. He doesn't have a ship there, but I am going to damage his fort. He built one here in Halifax, so I can damage it. And now that I have a connection, if I'm willing to spend 4 points, because it's +1 for me to take it over, I can take that fort from him. For him to repair it, it only costs 2 points. It's a -1 for him. Okay, but it's done during the peacetime, during your action. All right, so he's up by 1. Oh, hold on. They're both the same. So it was a wash. So he's up by 1 in North America. So first thing we count is conflict money. There's 1 there on him, which is a point for me, not for him, for me. So now we're at 0. Then we count forts. His fort is damaged, so it doesn't count. My fort's not damaged, so it counts. I have 1 point. And then we count squadrons. I have a squadron, and this is where I said it's a crime. He should have put his squadrons out. Anyways, I have 1, so that's 2. My little solitaire rules here. So I got another point. My version of 2 didn't get me anything else. I just got 1 victory point. Oh, I forgot to mention. When I won here, he got 3 treaty points. So that's 3 bonus actions for him. And then here, he got 1 treaty point. So he's up to 4 bonus actions. Okay, and this goes away. Now we go to the last one. Okay, his debt limit, by the way, is, oh no, it's just 7. He hasn't done his second turn yet. Okay, and then he has, so this is in Europe, and once again, I have no fort and no ship in Europe, so that tile doesn't do anything to me. And it's a Jacobite rebellion, so bonus strength. We're both at 0 is style. I have 1 point for style. Dutch Republic. I'm up by 2. Then we have Ireland and Scotland and conflict markers. There's no conflict markers because that conflict marker over there doesn't count. This is a war in Europe. Ireland, he has 1, and Scotland, he has 1. So nobody wins. All right, so that's how you resolve the war. And then what I like to do is, these are double-sided, so I flip it over to the 7 Years' War, and let me put this down. War of Austrian Succession, which is the next war, is now on top, and I just put this underneath it, so it's ready for the next. So the flip side is actually the third war, is what I'm trying to get at. And that's how you resolve the war. Now, if you had to get conquer points and it didn't list specific areas, there's more rules around that. The rules basically is you have to follow the dotted line if you want to conquer territories. If you want to conquer forts and squadrons, those you can conquer. You don't necessarily need to have dotted lines to connect to those. But you got to have conquer points to be able to do it. And yes, so that sums it up. You just saw one peace round and one war round. And what we would do is we would move to peace round 2. And if you come back to this, first thing is the deck phase. We skip it. Debt limit increase, skip it. Award phase is as simple as just turn it over. So 3 points in India, but you have to win by a margin of 2. 0 points in the West Indies, but you get a treaty point. I keep wanting to say trade. This is the same deal, and then up here is a 1 and 1, 1 victory point and 1 treaty point. Now, if you're wondering, do we have more award tiles so we can mix up the game? No, there's exactly 8. So you're going to see all 8 every 2 rounds or every 2 turns. Okay, so we did that. Award phase, global demand. So flip these over. We should probably use a cup. And they keep flipping over on me. Hold on. I'm getting irritated. So let's use a cup. Those are the bonus tiles for Britain. All right. I'm going to try to... I need to draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, these are the 3 I didn't pick. So let's get those flipped over. Here's the 3 I did pick. Sugar, furs, and fish. So 2 of the 3 have come back. Sugar is out, or in. So India has become unimportant for the most part. Tobacco still hasn't been important. And the furs are. Oh, one other rule. When a conflict marker is used to resolve a war, it gets removed for free. So it did its part for me, and now it's gone. So England has 2 furs. Okay, so that's the global demand. Then we do the reset phase. Reset is as simple as remove your exhaust markers. And also on your minister. Okay. Deal cards. So what you do in this phase is just like before. You take the event deck, which is still only going to have the succession markers, and 1 for each player until you draw 3, right? For each player. But here's the deal. So each player now, they get to take the 3 they drew and add it to the 1 they already have, or any that they already have. And then you have to discard down to 3. So the British player now has 5 and he gets to look at all of them. You don't get to change your ministers if you played them both, which is the case for both of us. So those are going to remain the same, and then you just got to pick the best event cards that work for you. If you were able to play all 3 event cards last round or last turn, then you just keep the 3 you draw. You don't have anything special. Okay, then the ministry phase is exactly that. The only thing you can do in the second turn is you can swap out, like I said, only if one was still face down, but you're losing the game if you're doing that. Initiative phase goes to Britain. So Britain now has the initiative. Why? Because we're winning. It's as simple as that. Whoever's winning, the initiative goes to them. If it's sitting on 15, then it just goes back to whoever had the initiative last time. So once we get our event cards sorted out, we do have to deal the 9 new tiles, and then the action phase. So let's put this out so you can see the new tiles. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Since all those economic tiles were in the last one, you're going to probably see an imbalance here. And I'm seeing a whole bunch of military ones now coming out. And then as far as the events go, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them that do events. So you can see it's getting more rare. Because we sort of had like an overload last time. And then we had like a whole bunch of economic tiles, and now there's only 1 economic tile this time. So that's sort of how it goes. Okay, so let's sort out the event cards. So for the British, they got 3 here. One of them requires a bonus to style. This is a bonus to governance. None of them are helping them. This one with mercantilism still probably helps them the most. Same with this one. Although this is an India one, which I said is not as useful. But there is going to be a war in India this time. So it might be more helpful there. This one, to get the bonus, you need to have more prestige spaces in Scotland and Ireland, which they do have. So like this is one they may want to keep. Vatican politics. 2 diplomacy points must be spent in the German states, Prussia, or Dutch Republic. They just don't get a bonus of +1 in Europe. Conflict marker gets placed in Spain. Remove a French bonus war tile from the next war. So I'm thinking that these 2 are easy discards, and then those are the 3 he would keep. So, and like I said, any discards are out of the game. Oops, I just dropped stuff on the floor. I got one of them. Okay, so the card we didn't play was this one, and it was because there was no couldn't match a symbol. We would get 2 market in North America and unflag a local alliance. Really, they don't have a local alliance, so it doesn't really do any good. This one, shift an alliance space in Austria, the Dutch Republic, or Spain. And that's nice. That's really nice. If both Savoy and Sardinia are French flags, score 3 points. I actually have both French flags. This is an amazing one to get. Holy cow. Reduce. If you have more available debt than your opponent, which isn't true because the opponent has his debt limit is higher than mine. It's possible it could be true. I get to reduce their debt limit by 1, so I get to basically cancel Bank of England by 1 time. If they were at their debt limit, I would increase. I would score a victory point. And then for a bonus, I get to reduce my debt by 2. That's the really nice part about this one. But I have to have more available debt than him. This is hard. It's a hard card to meet the conditions of. And this one is, I can construct a new squadron cheaper if I have the finance bonus. Problem is I don't have the finance minister. So this new squadron is not possible. The only thing I can do is unflag a market whose removal does not isolate any other markets. So it's just a free unflagging of a market. Not the best thing in the world, but I think I'm going to try to go for this. Nope, that one requires the economic symbol. Remember, we don't have any economic symbols drawn. There's only one tile that has it. So I'm going to take this one just because this one would be very difficult to play. So I'm going to go ahead and discard that. And we don't do anything with our ministers, so we're already done. So with all that done, we're now in the action phase, and we do the 4 turns, each, just like we did before. It's late. I need to go. But basically, that's the gist. Could a human player play better? I think so. The issue here, and the only reason why I think I'm creaming in the victory points category is, actually, I won 2 of the global trade, but somebody's going to win 2 of the global trade. Doesn't matter which game you play. The Europe diplomacy, he put a lot of points in his Jacobite war, and he ended up just tying with a 0. That part was interesting. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting England to actually win points there. I'd have to think about it. I mean, that's why I think they didn't make this a solitaire game. This is hard to do, solitaire. But I don't think the system's too bad. It just needs to be tweaked a little. And if I have some time tomorrow, I will try to get some more in. I think that if you're looking to see what this game's about and what the rules are like, you definitely have a good feel for that. There's very few things we didn't do. Maybe managed his debt a little bit better. It's like I was rolling a die to see if he was willing to go into debt. Whereas maybe I should have just let him go into debt. Because he really should have deployed those 2 squadrons. That would have helped him in many of the battles. Like, he could have put both of those in Europe, and he would have gotten the prestige bonus, and they both would have helped with the Spain War. That would have been a big boost for him. Or he could have put them both in North America, and he would have won the North American award, and then that would have helped him with the Queen Anne's War, where I don't think I got anything, but he might have gotten something. So I think that's the difference, right? Maybe he couldn't have won the markets. I think he actually played the markets fairly well. Did he really have to take the 3rd fish? No. He could have instead gone after a fur. But by taking that 3rd fish, you make it so it's impossible for the other player to beat you. Whereas if you leave it at, okay, I have 2 fish to his none, it is possible in one action round that you're going to flag 2 fish. Or take one away from him and then convert it to one of yours. So anyways, thanks for watching. Stay awesome. I would love to continue playing right now, but I'm definitely tired and slurring my speech, or at least I feel like I am. And of course, I can't get treaty points versus trade points out of my mind here. So I know I've been gone for 3 months. I hope you guys enjoy the welcome back. I apologize, this isn't a pure solitaire game. I don't really have, like for example, DVG is sending me some Kickstarter stuff. It just hasn't arrived yet. So once it gets here, I'll have some stuff to show you. But anyways, Dungeon Crusade's coming. So I think that's going to be in October. So definitely looking forward to that one. Anyways, thanks for watching. Stay awesome, stay healthy and safe.